This is exactly how I want to be spending my Thursday. It's great. Hey guys, it's Visual Moss here, and this is going to be a really short video because I didn't really think about it until I kind of got here. I was kind of too busy worried about my health, if that makes any sense. So you guys all know that I don't have cloud, which kind of sucks, in this whole entire situation that I'm in right now probably could have been prevented, or at least would have had more of chances of being prevented if I had cloud, but I don't, so this is where I'm at right now. I wouldn't watch this if you're triggered by like hospital stuff or like IVs and stuff like that. Just pre-warning now. Okay, so like I said, this is going to be like a really short video because there's not really much going on. I'm literally just sitting in my room. I'm here by myself, by the way. So let's just start off in the beginning of the story. Okay, I'm trying to figure out a better way to hold my phone without my arm like dying. Okay, so I had school today. School was surprisingly all right. I was having minor headaches or migraines that I usually get. I usually get them a lot. So it pretty started like, they were off and on all day. I wasn't too focused on them though. Then the school day was over and I still felt perfectly fine. I wouldn't say perfectly fine because I never feel perfectly fine, but like not as bad as I do now. And I went to work because I go straight from school to work, and that's when it pretty much all started. I get to work at 3 o'clock and the flare-up started happening around like 3:30. I was sitting at work and I can't even describe the feeling. Like I just felt really hot, but like I touched myself and I felt like cold. Like my skin felt cold or like normal, but I just felt really hot. My head, I can feel it filling up with like, I don't know how to describe it. You can just feel your head fill up with, I don't even know how to say it, how like, what it would it even be filling up with, but that's just how it feels. It feels like it's filling up with something like smoky, or I don't know. That's just how it feels. And my vision started getting really blurry. My attention span was really bad. I was disassociating. And if you don't know what disassociating is, it's where you're pretty much disconnected from the world and you don't like really realize where you're at, and your brain just kind of like, I don't know how else to describe it. You just have to look it up. Google is your friend. Okay, but anyway, so I started disassociating all over the place. I was really trying to decide on what I was gonna do, because obviously these things were kind of normal. I get these things a lot, and I just kind of pushed through them, I guess I could say. And my hair looks really bad. Don't mind my hair. I really can't fix it right now. So that's just kind of what happened. These things happen pretty normally, but it was all happening at once, and sometimes these things kind of just happen like one at a time or two at a time at least. On a bad day, 3 at a time, but these were happening all at once, so I knew that I was getting ready to faint. And fainting is something else that I do, and it doesn't happen as often as other people might get it, but it happens. And whenever I'm having one of those times where everything is happening at once, I faint. So I wanted to rush here to the ER to make sure that I'm okay and that I don't faint, because the last time I fainted and hit my head on the ground really bad, and I didn't end up going to the ER 2 days after that. So, sorry, my door thing is open. I'm trying to talk low because I don't want to bother anybody else. I'm not in like an actual like regular hospital room. I'm in the ER room, just because I'm just getting monitored. I'm not gonna be like staying here or anything like that. But I just wanted to make this short like video to show you guys how serious a service dog can be, because like I said, if I had Cloud, this probably could have been prevented. I'm not completely sure, not 100% sure. Okay, so to start off, I'm gonna like explain what I have right now. So I have a monitor on my finger, and it goes up to right there, and it is monitoring my heart rate, my vital signs and everything like that. And then I have an IV right here. The IV isn't connected to anything because I don't know why. Usually it is. Usually they connect it to something like, but usually it's connected to a bag of saline solution, and that would help. But she ended up giving me some sedatives through here, and they're gonna make me like really, really calm and drowsy and stuff. So I can't even drive home because I drove myself here. Surprisingly, I should have took an ambulance because I could have fainted during driving, but I drove here and my car is outside. Definitely can't drive home, so I have to find somebody to take me home. But they gave me I forget what it's called, sedatives, that's what I said, I think. In this IV, and then they also took blood work to do lab tests, because I don't know if you noticed or not, but right here you can see those little dots. They're not my freckles, but you can kind of see them. They're little dots. I have them on both arms and I have them on my back, and they wanted to take blood work to make sure to see what that even was, because it didn't start showing up until during my flare-up. So right now I'm just calming down, letting the sedatives kick in, and waiting for the blood work to get back, and then I'll probably be discharged. So it's not that serious, but it could have been a lot worse if I didn't come here. And this is actually my first time ever coming to a hospital by myself. So I was pretty nervous, and I really did debate about it for like a while. So yeah, my face scratches. So yeah, I don't really have much. Like I said, this video is like extremely short, but I just wanted to give the general idea of what it's like. I just tell you the story about how this time happened, and hopefully this is more of like a documentary for myself, so I like can remind myself like, oh, this is how I'm feeling, and I felt like this before, so maybe I should go to the hospital, that type of thing. See, the thing about Cloud, the reason I say that if I had Cloud it could have been prevented, is because there are signs that show way before a flare-up even happens. And the thing is if you know that a flare is going to happen, and if you take extra precaution, whether it be medications, whether it be going to a quiet place and just chilling out, taking a deep breath, you know, it can be prevented. But once it gets too far to where it is actually during a flare-up, you can't really do much about it besides just making sure you're in a safe environment and getting the medications and solutions that you need and stuff like that. For Cloud, there are symptoms that happen way before a flare-up happens, and I have trained Cloud to alert me to those symptoms, because a majority of the time I don't see those symptoms, and she does. That's what she's for, is to let me know about those symptoms before it gets worse like this. So yeah, like I said, I just want to let you know like the importance of a psychiatric service animal, or service animals in general, but I'm just talking about psychiatric mostly in this video, just because mine's psychiatric. So it's pretty much it. How important she is, because I know a lot of people, they have their opinions about psychiatric service dogs, and what it's like for me not to have my service animal, pretty much, or just in general how it's like for me, because I've never really talked too much about my conditions in this channel, and I want to be a little bit more open than I have been. I've just been a little iffy with being as open, and right now, like, I'm really trying to. So I hope you guys enjoy it and leave me feedback, and if you want more of me being open, I guess I'm trying to do quotations, then let me know, because I definitely will. A lot more, at least like not too open. I'm not gonna say too much, but a little more open than I am, pretty much. And kind of convert the channel more about not just Claude being a service dog, but like mental illnesses in general, bringing that out there. Also, I don't really know much about how to prevent flare-ups if you don't have a service animal, if you have the same condition, like if you have PTSD or anything like that. I don't really know of any ways to help besides my service dog, because my service dog is like so important to me, and I've just kind of like relied on her a lot. So I couldn't tell you on how to figure out how to help this if you don't have a service animal, but if you need help, you can leave a comment down below, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be somebody who will read the comments and see your comment and have a suggestion of what you could do. As you can tell, it's already really kicking in, and I really have to go pee, so that's great. So back in my car, and don't feel the greatest, but I'm about to just go home and sleep. I cannot even get my seatbelt on. This is how bad. Honestly, I shouldn't be driving. They were trying to get somebody to come get me, but nobody was able to. So that's that. So yeah, I'm gonna be going on my way home. There's my IV thing. They actually ended up having to poke me, you see a little dot right there, on both arms, and failed to get my veins, so that is just great. But yeah, so that was my experience. I asked to get wheelchaired out because I was like at the way back at the hospital towards the parking lot, and I couldn't deal walking that again. I already had to walk all the way there, and it just made everything worse. So I didn't want to end up having to leave with everything being worse, if that makes any sense. So yeah, but I hope you guys enjoy this video. I know it's not exactly what you want, but something educational, I guess. I'll see you guys in the next video later.